Montgomery Brawl. Bitch. Not one but them all. Montgomery Brawl. Shout out bro that can swim. Montgomery Brawl. Shit, really all of them. Montgomery Brawl. Shout out Unc with the chair. Montgomery Brawl. Everybody that was there. Montgomery Brawl. Threw the hat up at the start. Montgomery Brawl. Man, shout out to the girl. Montgomery Brawl. Now y'all done started some shit, so we gon' finish. Y'all did. And this time, everybody about to witness it. Bro told in the move, just doing his job. But y'all wanted to jump him, so now we got a prize. All right, let me tell y'all what really happened. Heard they was jumping on my cousin. Let me off, Cap. Cuz came out the water like, let's get it cracking. Came with the chair like I got some action. Cuz came no shirt like I got some action. I got him. Even the women getting hit like, damn, what happened? Hey, this shit was kind of lit. Like, damn, it's cracking. I even seen a rock bottom. Like, damn, this wrestling. Seen a couple of them boys go night-night. And we got the first black man to swim to a fight. If you mad at this song, don't mention me. Don't do it. But fuck that. That chair going down in history. Hey, I'm really proud of y'all. Montgomery Brawl. Bitch. Not one but them all. Montgomery Brawl. Shout out bro that can.
Hey y'all, hey, welcome to Tootie Talk Says, and I am Tootie. How y'all doing this Sunday? Is it still morning? Yeah, it's morning where I'm at. How y'all doing this Sunday morning, y'all? Let me tell you, this week have been something. I've been trying to get on here. Wait a minute, got an echo. I've been trying to get on here, right? But my daughter, my oldest, was in a car accident. And the guy was in a company car. He admitted it was his fault, everything, y'all. And his insurance company is like, oh, well, we're not going to, do anything with your car until the person called. I am so frustrated. I'm like, wait, you got to hear from the person. I said, you got the police report, right? There, yes. And you see on the police report that it was his fault, right? Yes, but the police report ain't the end all. I said, since when? Because every time I get into an accident, the decision is made based on that doggone police report. And this insurance agent has the worst attitude. And I said, maybe because I'm not the customer, their customer, you know what I'm saying? Their customer is the one who has insurance. They need to fix my car. Worst attitude ever. Lady named Hannah from Secura Insurance, right? Worst attitude. Oh, I ain't show my shirt, y'all. Y'all see my shirt? You see the boat, the hat, the swim, the chair, and of this. But make sure I show that. But Hannah has the worst attitude ever. She was at the point where she's just like tired of me and ready to hang up on me and everything. But you know what? I end up saying what I needed to say. And like, this is ridiculous. Like, so if this person never calls you back, am I never supposed to get my car fixed? Ma'am, I already said what I had to say to you. I was like, oh my God, this is the most unprofessional, worst insurance that I have ever dealt with. I didn't been into a car accident where the other person was at fault, but maybe it was a better insurance company, because I want to say that was either Allstate or State Farm. Maybe some nicest people. It's been over a week now. My car's still sitting in my garage. Still haven't heard from this insurance claim person. Nothing. Worst attitude. So that's what I've been dealing with. That's why I really haven't been on here, because I like to be in a good mood when I come up on here, y'all. But this heifer here, baby. Whoo. I said, whoo. I wanted to get a chair for her. You hear me? And I think she probably looked like one of the ladies who got the chair. Okay. But again, hey y'all, welcome to the Talk Sense. And so all my new subscribers, let me just give a little brief breakdown of what my channel is, because I know people have came from other channel like Neo X channel, SC Berry channel. Thanks for sending the people over. My channel is just commentary about trending topics. Now, I like to have laughter, I like to talk about different things. I like to include stories about my life and things that I can relate to. I know that there's in my personality, y'all, I can look at a situation and take both views of it. And that's what typically I like to do. Like in the Norwood situation, and I'm trying to stop saying ugh. In the Norwood situation, which is the Brandy and Ray J dad, and he has 3 older kids outside of his marriage. And C-Dub and his mom did an interview, and I went and did C-Dub haven't did his interview yet. His mom did an interview with Storm Monroe. So I went and did a video about that. And usually I pick something that like I relate to. And I relate to that subject because my sister's father, I have 2 sisters with the same dad. Their father, pretty much the same thing. Besides, where my parents from Greenwood, their Lynette and the Norwoods. They're from Greenwood, moved to Chicago. All us, most of us, I guess it's 7 of us, y'all. 7 sisters, all girls. But we were born and raised in Chicago, except the oldest and the youngest was born in Greenwood. Now I spent a lot of summers in Greenwood, so I'm like, oh, this connected really close to my life. And like I said, my sister, their father never was involved, had the kids, moved back in either, I don't know if he ended up married a lady, whatever. But his wife got 5 kids and don't, was never involved in sister life and everything. So dad, I was like, oh, let me learn because my mom is not alive. So I was like, let me learn this lady's story. And I'm wondering if it's something my mom went through. But I gave my opinion from viewing the Storm Monroe interview. But I also related, it had a side of taking Sonya, who is Brandy their mama, Willie wife. So I had an opinion on her side because I'm looking at it from her point of view as if, okay, I'm married to this man for 12 years, and all of a sudden that's this child that's 14 years old, and nobody had nothing nice to say about Sonya, right? So I'm like, at the same time, me and my husband, we've been together, we knew each other since high school. We was not together in high school. We was friends. He used to walk me to all my classes, y'all. I had a boyfriend. Then by the time I broke up with my boyfriend, he had a girlfriend. We didn't see each other for years, reunited on Facebook. So I said, I wonder if, and I'm like, oh, I felt bad for Sonya initially because it was so much bad stuff said about Sonya. Not even so much from Lynetta, who is C-Dub's mom, but more even the people in the comments who's still in Greenwood, who know the family, they only had bad stuff to say about Sonya, y'all. So I felt bad about Sonya. And I'm like, because if you go back and ask, especially women in my high school, like, what about Latoya? Too many people didn't know me. But the ones who wasn't my friends probably ain't got nothing good to say about me. So I'm thinking about it from that point. And she probably was upset. Her husband come with this kid, right? But the more the story went on, the more one good said, and Lynette calling kids bastards and stuff. Not Lynette, Sonya calling kids bastards and stuff. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I got to switching away, and then Lynette did another interview with Essie, and everything that I didn't understand, she explained. So I went back and did another video because my videos, this commentary is the information that I have at that time. So I'm just, I don't know none of these people personally. I'm not rich. I'm a full-time worker. I got we got 4 girls in total and my husband, and I just come on here and talk and give my opinion because like they said, opinions like a-holes, everybody got one. So on this channel is just my opinion. I would love to get to the point where people come on, we discuss, and they give their opinion, I give my opinion. We don't always have to agree, but hopefully we'll keep it respectful because I can't get ignorant. Okay? Now, I also comment. If you comment on the video, I try to comment back to everybody right now because I ain't got much subscribers. And when I have the time, I go in there and try to comment back. So, and like I said, I got a sense of humor. It ain't always the best sense of humor because, like, when they was like, I had a comment on my last video. What's funny about a deadbeat? Ain't nothing funny about a deadbeat because I got a 20-year-old who I had to raise by myself because the father wasn't nice. Now, I'm not. There's times I laugh at a situation, but I like to find the comedy in things, like using the word bastard. To me, it's not funny it being said about a kid. It's funny that she used the word bastard because I said, who still use that word? With the marriage statistic and marriage going down, and especially you in second, a lot of people out here are bastards. How many people was married? And I know a lot of people. Everybody I know was conceived when their parents were married. Most of the people I know one conceived during the time that their parents was married, whether their parents got married later or if their parents never got married, and they got half brothers and siblings, whatever. But a lot of people want to see. So I'm like, what type of insult was that supposed to be? But this was her insulting back in the days. I want to say this was maybe the 80s because and I keep saying the boy because he's actually 48. He's a grown man, but back when he was born. He was a boy, so he was born in like the 70s, and this happened 12 years later, so like late 80s or whatever. And they come from a Christian background, very Christian background. That you calling somebody a bastard, she thought it was a read, but I'm like, baby, nobody use that word. Nobody care whether or not you married when them kids are born. I know back then they did, but baby, that ain't nothing. And like the mama end up saying, you end up having a daughter and all, and she had bastard kids. So, comes around, goes around. But that I'm just trying to let y'all know. But since a human, I try not to do things that I'm from Chicago, baby. That your mama and get your looking ass up out of here. Like we rap, we roast, we do things of that nature. I don't too much do that about the people who who I'm talking about, but I do like to make life is hard. Okay, life is hard. So when you come here, I want us to have a good time, and whether it's laughing, joking, and usually I like to report and read articles and things of that nature. Because, like I said, I'm not in the industry, never been in the industry, probably never will be in the industry. Okay, not famous, don't know none of these famous people. This is simply my opinion about stories that's trending or something I didn't watch. Now, usually I have started to review the Real Housewife of Hollywood, but I only didn't watch season 15. So I tell people all the time, whatever I got wrong, come down here and let me know. The reason why I started watching Real Housewife of Atlanta was because of watching the Queens of R&B. And I like that and started doing reviews on that because I related to the sisters and the sister situation and sister rivalry and parents showing favoritism. So that made me watch that. And then they on season like 15 of Real Housewife of Atlanta. And I'm started doing reviews on that, but just season 15. See? And so I'm just trying to get y'all history of like what to expect from this channel. I do different things, whatever catch my interest, then usually I do a video of it. Y'all can always feel free to comment, and don't forget, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit subscribe, hit the bell, hit all so you can see when I go live, y'all. So let's get into this. Let's get into this Alabama brawl because they have did an update, right? And I was waiting until they do more updates because this is update like number the fourth, fifth update. Because at first they just had arrested the white boys, and then they arrested the white woman. Now they then arrested the chairman, y'all. So I want to show y'all the news update for the arresting. I want to say fifth. It's five. Yeah, it's five people that have been arrested for the Montgomery Brawl. Montgomery Brawl.
Tonight, a fifth arrest in that viral Montgomery riverfront brawl. Reggie Ray is now charged with disorderly conduct following the fight. The four other people you see on your screen here turned themselves in earlier this week. Tonight, we're hearing from the riverboat co-captain at the center of that brawl along the river. Damian Pickens, the man who you see being jumped and struck several times in the now viral video, says that he has contusions on his ribcage and knots on his head. He told Montgomery investigators that he and the captain of the riverboat were trying to dock when the other party's boat was blocking the way. They apparently had asked them to move between 5 and 6 times, and he says they didn't, which led to the verbal argument, then physical altercation. A riverboat deckhand jumped into action as the captain was trying to get to the dock. Now, he jumped off the boat and swam through the river to try and help his coworker as he was being attacked. The captain said that he had hoped when more people showed up that it would break it all up, but it didn't.
We had like 5 or 6 folks on there. The other guy that's on the dock, his name's Daniel, and he's 16 years old. He's a deckhand candidate, and he did his best, trying. He stepped in there and tried to help as best he could. He got punched fairly early there.
According to police, several witnesses say the suspects in the case were shouting obscenities, using racial slurs, and even threatening to get a gun.
Yeah. So that's the update that they didn't arrested let me see if I can find another one. They arrested the fifth suspect, which was Terry. Because they didn't even say on here. Terry, I can't remember his last name. But they arrested the fifth suspect. the chair guy. That's what I call him. And then also I'm gonna do an update on the Lizzo because more people than came out. More people than came out with Lizzo. That's 5 days ago. This was 1 day ago. I think that's the one we just seen. No, this is the one that I want to show because it talks more about the chair guy. I'm gonna remember his name once they said they called him the chair guy because baby he was swinging that chair. Hey, the chair guy.
Person arrested in connection with the Montgomery Riverfront Brawl.
Ever since last weekend's melee, police say they have wanted to talk with the man seen in videos wielding a folding chair.
That man has been identified as 42-year-old Reggie Ray, and tonight officers confirm he has turned himself in to investigators on charges of disorderly conduct. He was booked in the city jail, and tonight we learned he has since been released on a $300 bond. All this comes after multiple videos surfaced online showing him hitting a man with that folding chair. It was part of the brawl that unfolded after the co-captain of the Harriet II riverboat was initially attacked.
Okay, yeah. I can watch it again.
In moments, riverboat captain in that massive Alabama brawl is speaking out for the very first time. He joins me live. But first, some new developments tonight in the investigation.
Okay, yeah. So that's the update. They didn't arrested the fifth victim, who is the chair guy. They got four. It's 3 white guys, 1 white woman, and the fifth victim is the fifth assailant. I call them a victim. The fifth assailant is the alleged. And then what I did like is that you heard in there that they said they charging him with disorderly conduct. And I'm like, that's good. That's better than some, assault, battery, things of that nature. And the way he whacked, baby, he was throwing that chair. He was throwing them things, okay? So, but disorderly conduct shouldn't be that bad and should be a lot easier to clear up on his record, okay? Now, let's talk about Lizzo, y'all. Let's talk about Lizzo. In all the videos that I'm sharing is I'm sharing it under the Fair Use Copyright Act of the 1976. Okay, now let's talk about Lizzo. Y'all all know Lizzo had the allegations at the when it first came out. It was allegations, and it was just three of her ex dancers had the allegations against Lizzo, and the things Lizzo was doing out there. I did the initial video about Lizzo, and I said initially the first interview that the 3 accusers did was with TMZ, and I said initially it didn't sound like Lizzo did anything that was that she could be sued for. She did something that the girls didn't like, which was she showed favoritism. And it was favoritism towards people who would, hang out with her. And she was like, and the people who, would go out with her all the time and they would go on trips to Bahamas and things. So that TMZ only showed a small portion. And I'm like, that doesn't sound illegal. I don't know if she can get in trouble for that. Then she did, then they said that they would get more stage time and they would get more to book more with Lizzo if you was friends and willing to hang out. And initially people saying they just sound like stick in the muds, but then more of it, they did another interview where they alleged that Lizzo had them on the Amsterdam stage. Now, never been to Amsterdam, but when you say Amsterdam red light district, people know that it's about to go down. Okay, so she took them to the Amsterdam red light district. They said that initially they didn't know what it was. Once they found out what it was, then they didn't want to go, but they told them they already reserved for a certain amount of people, so they felt like they had to go. Let me show y'all the article so I won't have to be repeating myself. Okay, I think it's. Let me go to. Okay, so this is the. Try to make sure y'all can see it. So the allegation against Lizzo, briefly explained. This is Vox.com, Vox.com. It's an article written by them. So Lizzo, a pop star who had built her brand on both body positivity and empowering upbeat hits, is facing a new lawsuit that levels serious allegations, including claims that she created a hostile work environment and engaged in sexual harassment. Lizzo has denied these allegations, which have raised questions both about her treatment of employees as well as the reality of the image she cultivated as a champion of plus-size women and women of color. The lawsuit filed by three of Lizzo's former dancers this week also alleged misconduct by her production company Big Girls Big Touring Incorporated and her dance team captain Charlene Quigley. Among the claims included in the lawsuit is that Lizzo pressured dancers into unwanted sexual situations, made statement that was perceived as thinly veiled comments about a dancer's weight gain, and put people through grueling rehearsals that led to one dancer soiling herself. As of August 6th, at least 6 more former employees had filed similar complaints. Now, when they say, I'm going to go through what they said. When they say thinly veiled comments about a dancer weight, the girl on the interview said that she had, I guess she had left, she had came back, and they were all like, "Oh, are you okay?" And like I explained, if you're already a plus size girl, if you're visibly gained weight, it's probably a lot of weight, probably at least 50, 30, 50 pounds, something like that. So they were like, "Oh, is everything all right?" And that's what she means by vaguely. And she said she felt pressured to have to tell them about an eating disorder. And then they was like, "Oh, that makes sense." And I'm like, that's where I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's really something that you can get fired about, because as a dancer, she probably thinking you wasn't practicing, because it's kind of hard if you the way them dancers be dancing, baby, it's kind of hard to gain a significant amount of weight if you're doing that choreography. But she said she has an eating disorder, so I couldn't tell you now if that's true. Then she said putting people through grueling rehearsals. They said she had a 12-hour rehearsals where they had to audition because she thought they was drinking on the job. She made them rehearse for 12 hours, and the girl ended up, she was so afraid to leave that she ended up like peeing on herself. So those was the initial 3. Then they said 3 more have come forward. And she also have this lady came forward talking about she stole her boyfriend. We'll get to that. But in an Instagram post, Lizzo pushed back against these allegations, claiming they are unbelievable as they sound and too outrageous to not be addressed. She also hired Hollywood lawyer Marty Singer, an attorney who has previously worked with Jonah Hill, Kim Kardashian, and Chris Brown, to represent her in the case. Now, this is Lizzo's post when she responded to the lawsuit. The last few days have been gut-wrenchingly difficult and overwhelmingly disappointing. My work ethic, morals, and respectfulness have been questioned. My character has been criticized. Usually, I choose not to respond to false allegations, but these are as unbelievable as they sound and too outrageous to not be addressed. These sensationalized stories are coming from former employees who have already publicly admitted that they were told their behavior on tour was inappropriate and unprofessional. Now, that's because the girls have admitted that Lizzo had brought 2 of them into pretty much like a sit down and talking to, pretty much like a warning, where they was accused of drinking on the job. The girls denied it. So that's what she was like, it's coming from people who, former employees. Now, my opinion on that, because the job I work on now, if you need your job, you don't too much. Well, I don't know if maybe because let me see. Did they say it in here? Because on the Amsterdam tour, let me see. Let me see if I'm gonna have the video. I tried to make sure I had it in here. The article about exactly what happened on the Amsterdam tour, baby. Because what's been alleged is on the Amsterdam tour, the dancers will have bananas up in their vajayjays, right? And she had people eating the bananas out the vajayjays, catching stuff that they didn't popped out their vajayjays. Now that I was like, Now, to me, that was a line that should not be crossed. But it wasn't a work environment. she was going with her workers, but it was after work. So it was like if co-workers get together, let's go to the strip club if you're that cool with your co-workers. And it's something that they went to. But her being like upper management, I don't think it's something you would go to with upper management. So that's where the line to me got blurred. The rest of it, I was just like, I don't know if that's too much. It's too much is will win the lawsuit. It's kind of hard to prove that, she was fat shaming by asking me about my weight. That's kind of hard to prove. A hostile work environment, I don't know if a 12-hour rehearsal for dancers, I don't know if that's normal or not. So she's known for her hits like Good as Hell, Truth Hurts. Lizzo has been synchronized with catching tracks that had an overwhelming positive message. Additionally, yeah, but see, this is why I usually write things down. When I had stopped to say my job, right? In the job that I'm in, the only reason why I was like, okay, well, maybe because the people had started saying, well, why did y'all stay? Because I'm going to show you a video where after the first season of Big Girls and where all this stuff allegedly happened, well, I don't know the timeline, but it was a hostile work environment. I don't know about when the Amsterdam happened, but after you already dealing with her with an alleged hostile work environment, and they said they was like pushing Christianity up on people. But after you was already dealing with them with that, she came out, she did the video after she'd been on tour with them and everything, because the season 2 was coming out. So one of the girls did the video about, oh, Lizzo is this queen and how great it's been to work with her, and she wants to do season 2. So people like, well, it couldn't be that bad if you came out with this video praising Lizzo. And I said, I don't know about doing a video praising my worker, my employer, but you do deal with situations that you may not like. Like in my job, I work in the science field. There's a lot of racism, discrimination, bias, and things of that nature there. I'm working there because I got kids. I got kids to feed. I got a household. We got bills, mortgage payments, insurance. We need insurance, things of that nature. Is it blatant? No, but that doesn't mean that it's not there. They're like, well, you worked there for these many years. Yeah, I worked there for that many years. That doesn't mean that things didn't happen while working there. So I say I could give them the benefit of doubt on that part, but this to that level, that Amsterdam level, I don't I don't know about that. So previously, she launched a size inclusive shapewear line called Giddy, and also a reality TV show called Watch Out for the Big Girls, which aimed to spotlight and cast plus size dancers. The potential harassment details in the lawsuit through calls this message in her image into question while highlighting the relative lack of oversight for artists in the music industry. The stunning nature of how Lizzo and her management team treated their performers seemed to go against everything Lizzo stands for publicly. While privately she weight shames her dancers and demeans them in ways that are not illegal but absolutely demoralizing. The plaintiff attorney Ron Zambrano said in the statement. The allegations against Lizzo. Okay, so give me 1 minute, baby, y'all. My baby then came to this door knocking. Give me 1 minute. I'm back. I'm gonna have to cut it short because my baby, I thought my husband was out there. He out there cutting the lawn. And so she needs some attention. So I'm gonna have to cut this short, y'all. Okay. So this is a part of the article that's going to explain the allegation. So the lawsuit brought by plaintiff Crystal Williams, Ariana Davis, and Noel Rodriguez alleged 9 areas of misconduct in total related to their experience on Lizzo's special tour. Some of these claims are made against all 3 defendants, including Lizzo, Quigley, and Big Girl Tour Incorporated, while others are only alleged of some of the defendants. Additionally, some of the claims are made by all 3 plaintiffs, while others are only made by individual plaintiffs. The lawsuit was filed in Los Angeles Superior Court and could result in monetary damages for the plaintiff. If it were to move forward and the defendant were found liable, I got this. She's up there having a jolly good time. And got a karaoke machine with two mics. Baby, they is up there getting it. Oh, it said, okay, the lawsuit was filed in Los Angeles Superior Court and could result in monetary damages for the plaintiff if it were to move forward and the defendant were found liable. Prior to filing the lawsuit, Davis and William had been fired from the dance troupe, while Rodriguez said she resigned over how poorly her colleague was treated. Yeah, I'm gonna have to end this now, and then I will come back because she is having a fit, and the babies comes first, baby. So when I come back, hopefully because I don't want to just keep this on pause. When I come back, I'll finish up with the Lizzo lawsuit and the girl who accused her of stealing her boyfriend, and the 6 more who's on there. Okay, y'all. I'll catch y'all hopefully in a little bit.